So did you learn your ability to communicate through what you saw, or did you actually go through formal training?
No, I didn't go through any formal training, although I would like to. Actually, I would still like to get a coach probably for public speaking and stuff, because I think that's always good. But I just have been really passionate about it, and passionate about sharing ideas with people and communicating stuff in a way that, kind of like you said a minute ago, I really like to simplify things as much as possible.
Yeah.
A lot of people they sort of think, at least when they start out, that I need to sound as articulate or intelligent or cerebral as I can. Mm-hmm. So they sort of like overstep their bounds trying to use big words and sound impressive. Mm. And I always took the opposite approach, which is that, like, if you really know something, then you should be able to explain it to like a child,
Yeah, so true. But actually, I was going to ask about your community, because I've noticed that your channel is growing really fast. You're getting, you've already got almost 1 million views on your channel, and you haven't really been going that long, have you?
Yeah, no, it'll be a year in a couple of weeks.
Where was the tipping point? Did you have a particular video that seemed to push you into the sort of suggested videos?
Yeah, I did actually. So it took me about 9 months, 10 months to gain 1,000 subscribers.
Wow.
I was just pouring my life into these videos. I was going out filming vlogs with my drone in the mountains and all kinds of stuff. And then I'd spend a week editing the video and make it as cinematic as possible and upload it. And it gets like 20 views. I'm like, oh, my heart.
I've been there.
You probably know how that feels. But I just kind of believed, like, if you build it, they will come,
Yeah.
And so I decided to dedicate myself to the highest quality videos I could possibly put out.
Yeah.
I also made videos growing up as a kid a lot. It was like a hobby of mine. So I've always enjoyed making videos, even though they're a lot of work. But some people on YouTube take the approach of, like, a video a day, like just at least 1 video a day or 5 videos a week. And so they're always churning out videos to help the algorithm get their channel noticed. And so I just chose the opposite route just because I like quality a lot. So I said, I'll make, 1 video, maybe 2 a week at most, with as much quality as I can possibly put out there. And people will eventually appreciate the quality, and it'll make them more likely to subscribe, And so it took me 9 months to gain 1,000 subscribers. And literally right as I gained 1,000 subscribers, one of my videos called How to Talk to the Universe, is actually kind of interesting, because 2 months prior to this happening, I spent some time in meditation during that week, maybe 3 or 4 sessions, visualizing what it would be like to wake up one morning and have one of my videos have gone viral overnight. So I imagine waking up and seeing the number 10K on the computer, 10K views. I haven't had 500 views yet.
So that was pretty ambitious of you to visualize that.
But I was like, this is law of attraction. So I'm just going to do this. So I
practice what you preach.
Practice what I preach. And I spent like 3 or 4 sessions that week, and I would really get into the feeling. What would it feel like to have that experience happen? And then I just kind of let it go and didn't think about it anymore. And 2 months later, literally the exact thing I visualized happened, where I woke up and that video had gained like 5,000 views overnight.
Whoa.
I was like, whoa, what is this? It's hilarious. If you looked at the analytics on my YouTube app, it was like this completely flat line and then this massive spike straight up.
Whoa.
I mean, it just happened out of nowhere. So something happened with the algorithm that favored that video.
Yeah, messing with the frequency.
Yeah, I guess it was the law of attraction.
That's amazing. That really is.
So they went from 5K to 10K to 20K to 50K, and now that video is at like 170K. But what happened was another video of mine, which is the first astral projection video I made, when the How to Talk to the Universe was about 20K. All of a sudden, that video, I woke up and it had gained like 10K views overnight, and I was like, "Whoa, this video is blowing up too now."
Wow.
And within like a week, it had overtaken the other one.
Okay.
And so the astral projection video now has about 300,000 views.
Wow. So it really does work.
It really works.
Well, it's so good that you can actually prove it with your own actions.
Yeah. I mean, if you can't, experience it in real life, then why do you believe it?
Well, that's true. And it's actually really good for you and for anyone to be sort of testing themselves the whole time, because that's exactly what you're teaching. You're trying to help people manifest what they want, or to understand, why they might be in a particular situation, or how to deal with a certain situation, that kind of thing. So have you found, because your channel's growing so rapidly, how have you found the whole kind of interaction with your new community, really? Because I think that's where you're at the moment, and it's really building quite fast, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a really great question. That's, for me, been the most interesting part of this whole journey is interacting with the community as it's grown. Like, you suddenly become this super high demand person,
You're famous.
Yeah. Like, it's almost like you're famous, and it's bizarre because, first of all, for me, like, I get people writing the most incredibly sincere and nice compliments about my videos that blow me away. And like, it's been kind of an interesting spiritual catalyst for me, because people will say things that they'll compliment me in some way that, like, my ego doesn't compute with it. I'm like, no, I'm not that great. Like, these people are just being nice. It's not true. And so I've seen this aspect of myself that for some reason can't accept praise from people.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, and I think it's part of me being a perfectionist, and I'm like an Aries, my zodiac sign, so I'm like super high drive and desire to go and produce and passion and stuff. So I hold myself to the highest standard, and I don't really ever want to feel like I'm settling, I guess. So when people are complimenting me, my ego's like, don't let that make you complacent. Like, don't believe that for a second. You got to keep grinding, man.
Yeah. But, at the same time, this is a new experience for you in some ways. So I suppose it'll take time to adjust to, what the norm is, how you react with your fans and then your super fans. And you're going to get, but it's part of the interesting YouTube journey that you're on now.
Yeah.
And
everything takes time.
It takes time. So there's a kind of an opportunity in a way to build loyalty with them as well. So,
yes,
obviously accepting their compliments and then having that engagement with them and discussing things with them will always be something that they will appreciate.
Yes.
Because no one likes to compliment someone and then they sort of say, oh, I don't believe you.
Thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah, it doesn't make anyone feel good. So, you don't want people to stop complimenting you either. So, and also it's very genuine. I think it is, isn't it? It has to really be coming from, their heart. So they wouldn't bother writing it,
No, they wouldn't.
No.
That's been the difficult part for me, has been keeping up with the like tsunami of messages and comments and stuff. Because, I mean, you know how it is when somebody says something incredibly kind, you feel this obligation to respond and let them be seen and all that. So when I first was blowing up and gaining, between 1K to 5K, 5K to 10K, I was liking and responding to every single comment that anyone left on my channel. Like, I'm going to be the person who engages with my audience, and everyone really appreciated that. Oh man, I really appreciate how you always respond to your viewers and stuff. But pretty soon it was out of control. I couldn't keep up.
So what do you do then now?
So I had to meter it down in some way, because what really got overwhelming is, and this is probably unique to my niche, I guess. I'm sure it happens to other niches in other ways, but for me, I'm like, self-help, spirituality. Yeah. So the amount of messages I get from people who are like, I'm about to commit suicide. Oh, tell me something I need to know to not do this. Like, I hate the world, and all these really intense messages that demand your attention, right?
Yeah, and a huge responsibility for you to have to deal with, really.
Huge. I mean, it feels huge, whether or not it is. And, I'm depressed, or I just got cheated on. My wife just left me. And so I'm constantly getting these kinds of messages because I put myself out there as someone who can help. Right. And so I just started spending hours a day responding to people. And, I have so much compassion for people who are in those positions of suffering that my heart can't allow me to not respond. And it got to be so stressful for me to see all these messages that started slipping through the cracks. Like, I just don't have the time to respond to everyone. So it's been a lesson for me. And like, look, you're one person, you can't save the world. Just, you're doing the best you can already. Like, if you hadn't put these videos out in the first place, nobody would message you.
That's right. Yeah.
So it's not like you're obligated or responsible to respond to everyone, which is tough. You got to accept that.
Yeah. So how are you going to deal with this?
So what I've been doing, first of all, with the comments is just liking as many as I can.
Yeah.
I use the YouTube Studio app, which lets you go to like recent comments, and it'll just put every comment on your channel, regardless of the video.
Yeah, that is such a brilliant app. A lot of people don't use that. So if anyone... Yeah, I know, because it's like, it's so easy to actually reply to comments on the go. You can be anywhere, because otherwise
Way
it's real
easier.
mind, like trying to, do it on your laptop or whatever. You can literally do it anywhere.
Even on the YouTube app that you actually like watch videos on, you got to like go to each video and click the comment filter to newest and all that. But on the Studio app, you just go to the bottom and you click see comments, and it just lists them all. You can just go like.
Totally. It's so easy. But obviously with the influx of messages you're getting, even that's a bit too much for you now.
Totally.
And you clearly are really passionate about what you're doing. And also you're growing phenomenally. So you've got a really dedicated audience there. What motivates you to keep going and uploading so many videos?
Another great question. For sure, a lot of it's just blind passion, to be honest. I just really, really love teaching and making videos about stuff that's resonating with me. You can only share from your own journey, So when I'm going through a phase of my spiritual journey, it's really exciting for me to be able to share a specific truth that has recently clicked for me. That has made a huge difference for me in some area, and to be able to package that into a video and into an understandable way that anybody can relate to is like a really good feeling, knowing how many people I'm going to help by doing that. So just a lot of that is just the passion itself, but I think also a lot of it is the vision of the future. And especially having my channel having blown up this year in the last couple of months, it's allowed me to see that there's a lot of potential here for really building a huge platform and gaining an audience that can allow me to do bigger and better things. And so it's the kind of if you build it, they will come mantra that I just know that this is worth my time because it will pay off huge dividends in the future. I'm not making any money off of it right now. But at some point, I'll look back and be super grateful for the rise and grind days that I spent, churning these videos out. So
what do you do for time management? How do you manage your time?
How do I manage my time for YouTube and stuff?
Yeah, because obviously you're creating these videos. Are you going to a studio? Do you do it at home? Are you doing it out, at the weekends? How do you manage it?
Yeah. So I actually film at Google. There's a
that's
big,
handy.
huge, it's very awesome because they have a lot of really great filming spaces in the campus, like meeting rooms, conference rooms. Everything is really well painted and professional looking. So there's like this one wall that I go to and has a big old dark blue, like really dark blue wall that just looks great on video. You've probably seen videos where I'm standing in front of it. So I'll drive to Google to film any kind of like lecture video. I do film some of my videos at home in my apartment. I have like a somewhat okay looking setup, but I really like the professionalism that wall gives me at Google. So usually we'll go there, and then every now and then if I'm filming a vlog with drone footage, I'll go out to some gorgeous hiking trail or something like that.
Yeah, I've seen one of those videos, and I think that really worked. I think just going out in nature and given the subject matter, and I think that whole bringing that to your community, because you never know really where they are. And I also, it's probably more accessible, I guess, in some ways than, having to hire
in a lot of ways,
or book a studio or to film. In terms of your editing and that kind of thing, do you do that straight after you're filming, or how do you sort of schedule your videos? Is it because you've got quite a few different subjects going on, haven't you?
Yeah, I will usually film on Sundays, sometimes Saturdays, and then I will spend Sunday evening, Monday, and Tuesday editing, and then I will usually upload Wednesday. Do you have like a set day that you like to release your videos or publish them? I mean, is there something that works? Yeah, I've tested out a lot of different times. Sunday morning seems to work really well.
Oh, well, that's quite good, isn't it? Because
Saturday morning doesn't for some reason.
I suppose logically speaking, in my case, Sunday afternoons are a good time, but I think it probably is that most people will have to get all their chores done from having been at work all week or whatever. And so I guess also the subject matter and your niche is a time where people can reflect, where people can really get into that. I mean, there are a lot of channels that are about the law of attraction and manifesting things, but the fact that you actually talk about religion, old style, new style, whatever, adds another dimension, and it adds a lot of substance to the law of attraction. It doesn't feel like it's all about greed and about what I can get, for me, and it doesn't feel selfish, because there's a little bit of that with the law of attraction. So, okay, what I want to help myself to. I think it helps to understand some of the logic and some of the wise words that come from the Bible, thousands of years ago. And I think that something like the law of attraction is a really good way to allow people into and access Jesus, Hinduism, Buddhism, whatever.
Absolutely.
Islam.
It's all there.
So a lot of it does make sense, but unfortunately, if it's not told in the right way, it can just confuse people.
It can really confuse people. And I made a video recently about that. It's called Toxic Law of Attraction Teachings.
Okay.
Because, a lot of what comes out of the law of attraction is this like over attachment to positive outcomes and real resistance towards negative outcomes. Because people will say stuff like, well, if something bad happens to you in your life, that's because you're out of alignment. So like, get in alignment, man. It's your fault. You're creating your reality. And that's just not how the universe quite works. Like, you can be in, quote unquote, in alignment and be doing everything right and still have difficult or undesired things happen in your life. And that's because a big part of the law of attraction is as a catalyst for the evolution of consciousness. We are here to learn. We are here to grow and evolve. And you only can do that through the contrast and the friction of life that life brings you. And so, like, if you are trying to become, an easy example I use is, if you're asking the universe to make you confident, then if you're a super insecure person, the universe isn't just going to like sprinkle confidence dust on you, right? It's going to actually bring you circumstances in life that challenge you to step up to the plate and become confident, right? And every time that you rise to the occasion, instead of resisting it, then you integrate more confidence into your frequency. But if you think that something that's happening that's reinforcing insecurity, if you see that as a quote unquote negative thing rather than an opportunity, then you continue to resist what you are attracting. So you are literally like a vibrational match to things that validate insecurity until you decide to just rise to the occasion and choose to see confidence instead. And the universe is always giving you that opportunity. And so literally being in alignment means to be able to see that there are no negative circumstances. There's just opportunities.
And this is where awareness comes in, right? Because it's only when you're aware of that happening that you can make a change and evolve.
Yep, absolutely. What's really important to me is just to be authentic as possible. I think that authenticity is sort of the new enlightenment, or enlightenment 2.0. And a big part of who I am is I grew up as a Christian, and Jesus was the most influential figure in my life, and I've always been inspired by him. So I, like you were saying, I infuse a lot of his teachings and other religions too that inspire me into law of attraction teachings and stuff, because a lot of people are so anti-religion that they kind of throw the baby out with the bathwater. And I think that showing people that these ancient masters and wisdom teachers were totally teaching this stuff thousands of years ago. Like we're not like the new hip thing on the block or something.
That's right. They just didn't have and they just didn't have the science to prove it as such. Exactly. And now we've got a lot of all the language, the way you've explained it in some of your playlist series, it helps people understand how it all works. But again, no one explains why it works, and then that's when you come in and you talk about some of the old teachings, which kind of tell you why it works.
Yeah, totally. The quantum physics helps a lot with the whys.
Yeah, and also I think that brings in a whole new set of people who are skeptical,
Absolutely.
And I've been skeptical about it, but then I've had a few things that have come into my life, like, it's like, this is like a miracle. It's like, how did this happen? And hence why I've gone to YouTube to find out, like, why did this happen?
I think a lot of people are doing that.
How would you explain miracles?
Well, either miracles don't exist or everything is a miracle. So like when you experience something that you deem quote unquote a miracle, it's just the way reality actually is. But because it's outside of your reference frame, then you perceive it as being magical in some way. And so in that way, everything is magical. But when the universe opens up its truth to you, you know, you call it like an aha moment, right? Where something clicks. Like, oh my gosh, I understand how this works now. It always worked that way, right?
Yeah.
It didn't change this suddenly when you realized it. So before you had the aha moment and you experienced something you couldn't understand, you called it a miracle. And after you understand it, you just understand that that is the way the universe works. Yeah. So it's all miracles, really.
You wait, you know, you're born and, you know, you love every single experience is amazing and it all gets conditioned out of you. You know, I think there's a phase of your life where everything seems so tough and exhausting. And I think that's why everyone has to go through that series of challenges, you know.
That's a really, really great point, actually. That's something I've observed with elderly people, how when we're born, like you said, children have this innate feeling that everything is magical. Life is magical. Everything is possible. And then you go through adulthood and midlife crisis and all the trials and tribulations of life and the pain. And you kind of go through a period of your life where you feel like you know everything or you understand this life thing and, oh, and it sucks and this and that. Yeah. But what happens is that pain is a catalyst for your growth and it infuses you with so much wisdom and the humility to understand, like, I don't actually know anything. And what I thought I knew, I was so sure I knew, is now wrong. And so you see this kind of quality in a lot of elderly people where it's clear that they see everything as magical again. They see everything as mysterious again. So it's kind of like you grow up believing in magic and then you stop believing it and then you believe in it again.
Yeah. So actually, one of the things that I ask most of my guests is if they could give me like a kind of confession or a secret or a challenge that they had personally while they've been growing their channel.
Yeah, I could definitely give you one.
Okay.
So something really bizarre that has happened with me, and I think this is part of maybe the perfectionist side of me, but I went through a season where I was almost like embarrassed about the videos I was posting. I guess I was getting very self-critical or judgmental, and like I would watch my videos back and go, man, I'm not coming across good. Like people probably think I'm a dork or I don't communicate well, or like, you know, who's this guy to teach me about law of attraction or spirituality? Like he's too young or he's whatever. And so I started to feel self-conscious or something. And I'd make a video and you spend 2 or 3 days straight editing it. Yeah. So by the time you upload it, you're freaking sick of it. Wow. Like you can't even stand the sound of your voice anymore. You know, you've edited it so many times.
Yeah, well, that's not good, is it?
It's not. But so I'd be posting this video and like my finger is like quaking, like, oh, I don't want to post. This is a horrible video. No one's going to like this. And I'm like, well, I'm going to put all that work into it. Like, might as well post it. And if people hate it, I'll just delete it. Publish, and then I get this influx of comments going, oh my gosh, this video is incredible, thank you so much. And I'm like, what in the... So that was a big wake-up call of like, okay, my perception is way off. I need to relax and be easier on myself.
Yeah, I suppose it's always hard for a lot of people to hear themselves and accept themselves as they are.
You're your own worst critic.
Yeah, and that doesn't help you if you're trying to build a YouTube channel and get on video or a podcast.
I think it's almost unavoidable. I don't want to say it's always, but I think it's almost unavoidable for everyone doing that, right?
Yeah. But how do you get over to yourself? Do you just then have to trust that your audience, they're right in what they're saying? You're like, okay, bite my lip and I'll carry on.
You have to look at the feedback you're getting as if that is what the universe is telling you.
Yeah, good point.
People aren't going to lie to you, right? Like they don't even know you. So they don't have any like investment in telling you lies about that you're great when you actually suck. So people are going to tell you exactly what they think. Yeah. And, most people have the wisdom to be able to like differentiate between some insecure hater and a person who actually is giving like they like you, they want to help you, but here's some critical feedback. The energy behind the comment is very obvious. So obviously if people are just like being haters, you're always going to have haters no matter who you are, what you're doing. You're going to have people that don't like you and what you're doing. So you have to accept that. But, take in the feedback you're getting, positive or negative, because that is how the universe is giving you feedback, right? Because people are the universe. Yeah. And you have to value that above what you think, because like it or not, your perception of yourself is the most skewed one on earth.
Yeah, that's a good point. You have to sort of get over yourself a bit, don't you?
Yep, we all have egos.
We have to tame them.
We do.
So how do you actually deal with some of the, I'm not sure whether you get any actually, but any hate comments or anything that doesn't like resonate with you very well?
I've used it as a really helpful spiritual catalyst for not caring what people think in a way, taking in people's input and all that good stuff, but not letting that determine my value or how I see myself. Yeah. Because it's really easy to do that. You could get 10 comments that are amazing and wonderfully complimentary. Yeah. And you get one comment that's negative and you freaking think about that comment for weeks. Well, this is actually something that comes up a lot with a lot of creators that I speak to. Yep. And it's just something that they think about it. They think about that one awful comment. Why do we do it? We do it because we have a mechanism in our brain that is designed through evolution to do that. It's called the ego. Yeah, so we have to go through that process of overcoming it, and as a creator, and overlooking it and not allowing that to get in the way of all the other great stuff that people have been saying. So, and encouraging you to carry on. So, Aaron, we're actually coming to the end of the show, and it's really been so much fun talking to you. I could go on and on. Just before we go, I wanted to ask, what's next for you? What are you working on? It's kind of the thing I was mentioning earlier about having the time to do stuff. I'm sort of waiting till my channel gets to certain, benchmarks or whatever, before I do something I'm planning. So like I want to do a workshop that I can market to my subscribers about different things with either law of attraction or finding inner freedom or whatever, self-empowerment. Right. But I want to make sure I have a really, really big audience before I put that much work into something. Yeah. Because it's going to have to take time away from my content or writing a book or whatever the other things are. So it's all about allotting the time, Yeah. But definitely the book and definitely workshops I'm going to start doing. And my goal really is to start traveling and speaking and doing workshops around the world at some point. So just building my platform is kind of the most important thing to me at this point. Well, that sounds really exciting. Actually, I think, did you mention earlier that you have a Patreon account or a Patreon page? I do. Yeah. I just started a Patreon because I had actually a lot of people that were like, hey, can I give you money? Like your videos are really helping me. That's great. I was like, that's a great idea. So you've set one up, and is that like a tip jar kind of scenario? Like a tip jar. Yeah. I tell people none of my videos are monetized right now. So if you find benefit in them and want to help me out, here's my Patreon link. Yeah. Yeah. So, now, have you found the response to that? Good. Yeah. I've had a couple people do a monthly donation already. That's brilliant. $5, $10, Excellent. So hopefully we'll see that grow, and hopefully you'll get your monetization through really soon. So we'll all be sort of doing some meditation for you, Aaron. Fingers crossed. Yeah, fingers crossed. Well, we don't need that. You just have to think. You have to meditate on it. Yeah, have the right intent and all that kind of stuff, all that jazz. But so listen, it's been brilliant talking to you. I've had so much fun, and I've got a lot to think about. So thanks again for joining me and sharing all that lovely spiritual wisdom. And I hope that we can get together soon when you get that silver play button. And good luck with everything. Yeah, thank you so much, Emma. It's been a pleasure. If you're looking to